emotions. We all have them and we can't seem to escape them. According to American Psychological Association, emotions are complex reaction patterns. Our emotional experiences are personal and subjective ways we respond to matters that are important to us. We usually experience a physiological reaction as well and have a behavioral or expressive reaction to our circumstances during an emotional experience. Let us simplify that with an example. Let's say you get your dream job. It is exactly what you wished for, a salary that you wanted, work life balance, and a work environment that helps you learn and grow in your profession. All of it is perfect for you. Now, I know that it sounds too good to be true, but we'll take this example for this video. The emotions you feel can be very personal. You might feel a sense of relief. You're so happy that you almost start crying. You might feel your heartbeat increasing as well because of the anticipation. You might be laughing out loud with your family and friends. But someone else who also gets the same job might not feel the same joy as you because the job may not be what they wanted. And that is one of the ways our emotional experiences work. Here, our facial expressions, the heart palpitations, our laughter, our tears of joy are all part of the emotional experience. Piece of artwork can make someone teary eyed. Someone can laugh at a joke till they cry, while others are looking at them with confusion. Someone can feel so anxious that their stomach starts churning. These are all emotions that we feel differently about similar things. Because emotions are so complex, many parts of our brain play a role in these emotional experiences. But usually, we talk about the hippocampus, the amygdala, and the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala is generally considered as the emotion center. When it comes to anger, when it comes to aggression, when it comes to fear, and even happiness, are all controlled by the amygdala. The hippocampus, on the other hand, is connected to our emotional memory. A lot of times, amygdala and hippocampus work together, where an experience that is emotionally important to us is flagged by the amygdala to be eventually stored in our long term memory so that we can retrieve it later on. Which is why, let's say, the first day of college or first day of school is something that we remember easily because it has some emotional importance to us. The prefrontal cortex, on the other hand, is connected to our ability to reason, to plan, to make decisions, and also connected to our working memory. Now, you might wonder, what role does it play in emotions? It helps us process our emotions really well and make decisions that are for our good. The thing is, emotions in general also play a very important role for our survival, even when it feels like it doesn't. We all have certain universal emotional expressions like that for happiness, sadness, anger, disgust, and surprise, among others. The thing is, emotions help us communicate with others and ask for help whenever needed. Our emotions can also let us know what we need and the actions that we need to take for ourselves. When we look at our friend's face and see a morose expression, we know that they are sad. They don't really need to talk about it. But let's look at it from the perspective of survival. Let's say you were walking back home and you noticed a road that was empty and dark. You know that's a shortcut, but you feel scared. You can even hear some noises coming from the road. But because you can't see anything, you don't really want to walk through that path alone. You stand there with your heartbeat increasing, you genuinely feel nervous. And then You think about it for a while and decide to take a different route back home. Here, your fear helped you make a decision that prioritized your safety. The empty, dark road triggered the amygdala's fear response, which then led to the secretion of cortisol, which is a stress hormone that helps us stay alert. Now, because it is moderate stress, it helped you make a reasonable choice thanks to the prefrontal cortex, and you took a different route home. Our emotions like sadness, anger, or even jealousy can help us understand ourselves and the situation we are in. But a lot of times we dismiss the emotions or we start shaming ourselves for feeling them. What that ends up doing is we are not really curious about what we might actually need in that given moment, because of which the emotions are coming up. Our gut feelings too, while not always accurate, still tells us what we might need to pay attention to at a given moment. But sometimes our emotions can definitely overtake our reasoning, and we behave in ways that don't match our surroundings. Our emotional reactions end up masking our reasoning, and we act out in ways that seem exaggerated. Let's take an example of a person who feels scared about public speaking. Let's say they had one bad public speaking experience and it made them feel so anxious that they avoided every opportunity in the future. In situations where they needed to speak up, they felt so overwhelmed that they froze completely or weren't able to complete their sentences. In these cases, our emotions take over and we have reactions that don't really match the situation. So, what can be done about it? For some people, mindfulness activities help a lot. For others, somatic therapy that helps a person feel safe in their physical body can also help. Some people benefit a lot from regular journaling exercises, but consistency matters a lot. I'll be talking more about emotion regulation and emotion processing in my future videos so that we can dedicate more time to them. But you can still check out my follow along video on progressive muscle relaxation. I'll link it in the description box down below. Progressive muscle relaxation can be very helpful to manage our emotions, especially when we do it regularly. So, today's video was mostly to understand what emotions are and the role that it can play for our survival. And that's all for today's video. In my next two videos, we'll be discussing about emotion regulation techniques and ways we can process our emotions. That's all for today. Bye.